Hello YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm sure there aren't any ladies watching, so hello gentlemen, how are you today? I got 10 more CDs for you, alphabetized, almost through, actually this will get through the letter A, so this is like 7 or 8 videos just to get through one letter, so that's kind of cool. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to the people that have been subscribing and talking to me. I know that's cliche to say in a video, everyone does it, but I think most of us truly appreciate it. That's why we say it. I've had a couple new people that also have channels comment and talk to me that seem really cool. Secondhand Choke, that's one. Yeah, that guy's got some cool stuff in his collection. And I'll leave some links, by the way, because I'm probably going to say some of these wrong. There's that one, and then there's, I think it's CASSETTEISGOD. I'll leave a link, like I said, but I think that's what it's called. Cool guy from Australia. I think I've only watched 1 or 2 of his videos so far. I will watch more. But going by what I've seen and the name of his channel, I think he focuses on cassettes. I don't know if he only collects cassettes or if that's just a channel, you know, the way he wanted to orientate his channel, which, if that's the case, that's really fucking cool. Cassette channel, that's awesome. But anyway, fuck it. I'm tired as shit. I just got home from school. Let's get to it. 10 CDs. We'll pick up, you know, right where we left off last time with Autopsy. Got a couple more Autopsy albums. Yeah, The Headless Ritual. This is often considered Autopsy's at least one of their worst albums, or at least their worst of their comeback. I don't know. I never had a problem with it. It just seemed like Autopsy more of the same. It didn't bore me, didn't blow me away, but I enjoyed it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not that picky, and I think that's often the case. Next we have their last full length, which I think is better. I kind of prefer this one to all their, you know, like comeback stuff, the 3 albums or whatever. That's Tourniquets, Hacksaws, and Graves. That was called, yeah. These all have slipcases, by the way, from Peaceville Records. Yeah, man. As I said in my first video when I showed Autopsy albums, I'm not gonna talk about it. And everyone's heard Autopsy. If I started talking about them, you'd probably just fast forward or stop the video entirely, because it's fucking old hat, right? And this last Autopsy release I have, this one's pretty cool. It is a collection of all of Autopsy's early EPs, early and actually up until the last EP they did, that comeback EP, something Tomb. It was their first material in many years, so that was cool, and that's on here too. So I think it's all their EPs, and I'm pretty fucking sure it's all Tomorrow's Funerals. I love these Peaceville, what would you even fucking call this format, or what, this packaging? It's like a book. I don't know what you call it, but anyway, Peaceville, when they want to, man, their packaging's great, even just for, you know, shitty little CDs. It's got a built-in booklet, a nice one also. It's got, you know, tons of pictures and shit. Really fucking cool. I definitely, if you're like me and you don't have those early EPs, this is definitely well worth getting. They put out what was that thing they put out last year, I think, that with a whole bunch of shit. Anyway, came with like a cool, like a full-size book. I didn't get that. I slept on it. I shouldn't have. So this is the closest thing I have to, you know, an Autopsy compilation, but well worth getting for, you know, $12 or whatever. Next we have, got a couple albums from American black metal, Averse Sefira, I don't know, but I like them. This is Battles Clarion. These are both from Candlelight Records. Battles Clarion is one of their more, they're split up. In case you don't know who Averse Sefira is, they are, like I said, U.S. black metal from Texas. How would I describe Averse Sefira? They are, as far as their musicianship, they almost lean towards death metal. They're not like a raw, they're not like a raw black metal band playing 3 chords, you know, old school raw punk type black metal. It's nothing like that. It's their musicianship, like I said, is more leaning towards death metal. It's fast and ripping, and yeah, think of like if a band like Immolation or something played death metal. I mean black metal. Maybe not that technical. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, you get the point. It's technical black metal, I guess you could call it. And this is the album the first album I ever heard from them, which is, you know, whatever. It was the last one they did, so I was kind of late to the party on Averse Sefira. That is at Advent Parallax. Very cool album. yeah, I out of everything they've done, I probably prefer this one. It's pretty kick-ass. Next up, Avsky from, don't quote me on anything I say when I talk about what country fucking bands are from. Sweden, I believe. Avsky are from Sweden. I don't do any research prior to making these videos. Of course, I do research on everything I listen to and everything I own, but I often forget. So, I think they're from Sweden. Avsky plays some kind of like raw, kind of like what I was talking about with Averse Sefira, the opposite of what they do. Kind of a raw, punk infused black metal, and not like that black punk stuff that's popular. I mean, this is traditional black metal. This is black metal done proper. And when I say punk infused, I'm talking about like, early black metal was totally derivative from punk, and that's what I'm talking about. Simple power chord riffs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you know black metal, you know what I mean. I don't have to talk about it anymore. Next, we have the only album I have, which is a shame because I do like a lot of their stuff, from Avulsed, as you know, from Spain. Fuck, I don't remember where I got this, but yeah, it says World War III Music, American Music Corporation. I don't think that is a label that exists anymore. But anyway, this is Stab Wound to Orgasm. Yep, you got me right. Look at that fucking artwork. I don't know. It's whatever. Yeah, I like Avulsed. Like I said, from Spain. Avulsed, I mean, they're very consistent, and they've been around since the early '90s, and they always continue to crank out at least something every year or two. Dave Rotten, vocalist from Avulsed, you might know him from countless other projects he's done. None that I can name right now. I own some stuff, and I've heard some stuff. Yeah, he's a great vocalist. He's one of the best death metal vocalists, I think. Just very deep and. What was I going to say? Oh, he also, if you're familiar with Extreme Records from Spain, Dave owns that label, and it's a good label. I got to say, when I see bands online that I haven't heard of, or albums, death metal, and it's from Extreme Records, I always look into it or give it a listen or whatever, because it's quality stuff. He's a death metal, maniac, and he knows what he wants to sign, and everything is quality from what I've heard. So check out Extreme Records. Very good stuff. Everything I've heard, actually, I haven't heard anything from his label that you remotely disliked. Next we have, I've never been much of a punk guy. I kind of got into a little bit of punk in my late teens, maybe early 20s. Liked a few bands and kind of just left it at that. And even those bands that I liked, I rarely listened to, but some of them, kind of stayed with me. And that, one of those would be Bad Religion. This is 80 through 85 compilation. It's got, like 28 songs. As you can see on the back. I did not pay $12.95 for it. I got this fucking years ago. Used. I mean, this thing, I played this thing so much, it fucking barely plays anymore. I don't know how it does. I mean, look at that shit. You probably can't tell. It's scratched all this shit, though. But I still bust it out once in a while. We're gonna say I dig Bad Religion to this day. I mean, I don't listen to them often, but when I'm in the mood for some punk, I usually reach for this. Next up, another album from, by the way, that Avsky I got that from Moribund Records. I don't think I said that. I also got this album from Moribund Records, and you're not going to be able to see this cover very well because it's a black print on a black sleeve. So I mean, it's going to be hard to see. You might be able to see that. Whatever, go on Metal Archives and look at it if you want to. It's cool art, or whatever you want to call that, cool logo. Bahimiron, also from Texas. Texas is a great state for extreme metal. Lots of good black metal, lots of good death metal. This is, you might know, what's his name? Oh, god damn it. I can't remember his name. There's a guy in this band, he's got a bunch of other projects. Based out of Texas, and Bahimiron, they're just so good. Their earlier stuff, this is their second full length. Earlier stuff, if I were to give you just a quick description, I'd say maybe think of like early Gorgoroth, and I've seen other people compare them to that, so I don't feel too stupid about saying that. Early Gorgoroth, man, raw, ferocious black metal. Their third album I actually like the most. I need to buy it, I don't have it. Came out a couple years ago, and it's more along the lines of, it's so filthy. It's a little bit different sonically. I would compare it, instead of the lazy Gorgoroth comparison. I would give it a lazy Beharit comparison. But it's just so dirty and filthy, and it's the rawest thing they've ever done, and it kicks ass. I need to get it. Why don't I? Should probably go order it right now after this fucking video. And last but not least, well, probably least, this is I used to like kind of fruity stuff like this, and not really my cup of tea anymore, but I will play this band from time to time, so fuck you. Averse Goth, or Goth from England, the Chthonic Chronicles, Candlelight Records. If you've never heard Averse Goth, there's a really good chance that you won't want to hear them, or you don't give a fuck, or you've heard them and you don't like them. Anyway, I don't want to completely discourage you from listening to them, because maybe you would like them. But anyway, Averse Goth, they're kind of like I'm real lazy with my comparisons. They kind of get a Cradle of Filth comparison, but they are different in their approach. It's fast, kind of epic, orchestral black metal, I guess you could say. This album, I haven't heard all their stuff, but this album has and I think it might be even Doug Bradley. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's got like narrations throughout it. Like, it's cool in its own way. It's probably not Doug Bradley. I'm probably just saying that because he did Cradle of Filth narrations. But it's similar to that. I don't know. If that's your cup of tea, you'd probably dig it. If not, you'd probably hate the fuck out of it. So anyway, that's all my 10 CDs I got. I also want to say thanks to, I doubt he's watching this, but Robert from Nero One Records, who I've talked to multiple times. When I talked about that Thy Feeble Savior tape the other day, if you've seen that video, this is actually kind of embarrassing, because I could have sworn that I read online when I ordered it that it came with a pin. When I got my cassette, didn't have a pin in there, and at first I was like, whatever, it's just a pin. I kept thinking about it, and I was like, man, I really wanted that pin. So I finally emailed him, and I was like, hey, I really hate to bug you. I'll just buy one if I have to, but my cassette didn't come with a pin. Turns out that cassette doesn't come with a pin, but he sent me one anyway. I tried to give him money. I was like, dude, I feel like a fucking asshole. I'd like to give you some money, or at least cover the goddamn postage. And he didn't want any of that. He wanted to get me the pin, so that was really cool of him. I can't wait to see what Nero One has in store. I know that Ruin, California Death Metal, look them up if you haven't heard of them, are working on a full length, and I think it's almost done. It might even be done. So that's definitely going to come out on Nero One Records. I'm really looking forward to that. If you want a t-shirt, a Ruin t-shirt, there's a couple designs. Well, they had one design that was pretty cool, and then he just made up a batch of just Ruin logo shirts, and it looks really fucking cool because it's a cool logo. Black shirt with like a white logo, metal, of course. I was going to order one as soon as I saw the posting, or the email from them, because I'm on their email list. I was going to go order one right away, but they didn't have any fucking mediums, and I don't know, I'm getting too skinny to wear large. I've been like exercising and losing weight and shit, so they only had large and extra large, but $10, so if you want one, go snag one up. So I'll put a link also with the two YouTubers that I mentioned. I'll throw in another Nero One Records link, and I'll stop rambling. I will let you guys go. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by.